Now the sound's on. There we go. This is the perfect thing of just I'm trying to wear all the hats and I'm panicking. So hi folks, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Mind and the Martyr. Yeah. that's that's where my mindset is right now. Everything is everything all at once. But hey, it's okay. We keep going. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're keeping okay. We're going to go ahead and play some TTRPGs for you here and have a laugh. But before we go ahead and do that, there are a few folks that help keep us on the air. You did just see the little Dice Envy sponsor that we have there. They're currently having a sale. Having a buy one get one free deal, so go ahead and check them out. Throw in our affiliate code, take a look at some amazing dice, and get yourself a set for free on top of the one you're already getting. Free is literally the best, always. So go check that out. We do also have our wonderful friends at Grinding Coffee, who are a Black LGBT plus owned coffee company that have a massive variety of different blends, flavors, and all sorts of types of coffee in order for you to get your caffeine fix. They're fantastic folks. They support a lot of people in multiple different spheres, whether that be TTRPGs or just general content creation. They're fantastic. They've done a bunch of charity work. Their coffee is amazing. They have some brilliant flavor combinations and mixtures. And you can go ahead and grab a sample pack as well, so you can try out a few different ones before you finally decide on which flavors are your favorite. Go ahead and check them out. Throw in FWRD for some order off your money, for some money off your order. There we go. I can words. Don't worry about it. And of course, we are a Roll20 Spotlight stream. Roll20 is an online toolset that brings pen and paper RPGs onto the screen. Whether that be you going ahead and just jumping in with a free account and playing with people all over the world, whether that be going ahead and grabbing one of their subscription packs and leveling up your online game, or whether it be picking up assets or entire games that have already been converted into Roll20 for you to just go ahead and play to your heart's content. They are some fantastic folks. They have a whole bunch of support for streamers and things like that as well. They put on some fantastic shows, and you should definitely go ahead and check them out also. Go ahead and take a look at roll20.net. This is how we roll. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into the session here. So, who wants to go ahead and recap what happened last time?
I believe I will be giving that a go. So, Dawan was doing mending on the exploded magical area. Nawi was looking hot in a swimsuit and lounging around on the deck of the ship for the most part. I'm going through every name except for Mara. I was like, Dragon Gem, Rochelle. No, Mara was trying to secure Captain Belladonna's ship for hire to help us fight the weird things from another dimension that are stealing people. That makes sense, right? Sure. Jacaranda doesn't know what's going on, but just trying to support Mara in that endeavor. And also decorated Captain Belladonna's office when she was left there alone. When Captain Belladonna got flustered and barged out of her office, I'm assuming forgetting that Jacaranda was there. Also found a secret area underneath her desk that we will have to return to at some point because Dewan couldn't get it open without possibly breaking it. And we met an awesome character played by Izzy named Iris, who is looking for a book that we don't know what the book is yet, I don't believe. We learned that they are interested in learning about basically everything. They seem to be from a community that is different from the ones that we are a part of. So there's a lot of explaining different things and discussing things and acclimating to this new scenery. And then I made a doll as well. And that's the gist of what happened.
Yeah, basically. That is pretty much where we pick up off here, as Belladonna has retreated away for for at least the foreseeable future, and you were all informed that the Millennium was going to tow your ship back to Tarqueza, which, one, would speed up the process, and two, considering Jacaranda turning the towed ship into a hallowed area, will also mean that you won't be encountering any other spiritual nonsense, let's call it, for the foreseeable future. Um, Iris, you've been on the Millennium for a little bit of time, but as they're sorting out and moving supplies from one ship to the other, you see how much smaller this other vessel is. Far, far, far smaller. Just kind of a basic, one of those basic kind of like transport ships that you would have seen in a few books from your home, but just looks a little dilapidated is not quite the word, but definitely not as well kept as this current ship is. There's a few individuals that you can see working around on the actual vessel itself, and passing things across and that kind of thing. And there's just a weird moment. There's a weird moment of familiarity that hits you about this whole situation. Almost like deja vu. It only lasts for like 1 or 2 seconds, but you feel it solidly in the back of your mind. Almost overtaking your subconscious thoughts and kind of pushing itself to the forefront for just a moment, out of your control. And then it vanishes almost as quickly as it appeared.
So I think Iris will have, coming onto the ship, do that like the dad stretch, where you kind of put your hands on your hips and when you like just arch your back. Just okay, all right, this is nice. This is nice. Is this all of it? This is everything here. Oh, great. No, this looks just like the pictures in the book, except for I can see a lot more of the sort of wiring and the paint is missing in place. That's a stylistic choice, I would assume. We do have art back home, and is like going off on this sort of like, oh, I've never been on a boat before, but you're just like fine, and is interrupted by this sensation and sort of just like blanks out for a second, just to vision somewhere else. Puts a hand out to steady themselves on the boat walls, on the walls of the boat. The side.
The railing?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Nailed it. Ooh. I'm sorry. So we were saying about your floating small home here. It's complete. This is how it's meant to be.
It's more of a carriage on water than our home. It's just to get us from point A to point B.
Oh, so you're away from home quite a bit then?
No, it doesn't belong to us. We rented it. Leased it? Paid for passage?
My home is kind of everywhere.
Oh, well, that's beautiful.
Thank
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Welcome. Good.
I was actually curious about your home and culture. If you wouldn't mind sharing, I think I know that culture and home is very important to a lot of people. So if you wouldn't mind sharing, I'm curious.
Oh, I love talking about my family. What do you want to know?
Well, just kind of like what it's like, where you're from, or I guess where you're from first would probably be important. But what it's like where you're from, your family, people that live close to you, I guess the culture, what kind of food do you like to eat, or do you eat food?
Yeah, we eat food pretty often. That's, some of the chores that the younger kids will have. Just until they find their route, they're assigned to help make dinner and gather foods and whatnot. We're called a name that I forgot and wrote down in my notes somewhere, so it's going to change right now to the Opal Spire. It's out in a continent that Ray told me the name of, and I can't remember, but it's somewhere west-ish. Oh gosh, I hope it's west. Somewhere on a map that I have looked at.
That is okay. We'll fix it in post.
Iris knows the name of all those things for sure.
Yes.
Is your home made of a gemstone then?
Well, not necessarily the whole thing, but it was kind of built into this rocky outcropping where there were some, fine stones. We don't really use them all too much, except for maybe like a spell focus on occasion. Other than that, it's, just kind of trading with folks who come through, which is not many folks. We're pretty off the beaten path. It's real quiet, but, we're real close. I've got a bunch of brothers and sisters and a father and a grandfather and my mother, and then some other folks who are fine. We like soups, just in terms of foods that we eat.
Do the rocks
Y'all
talk?
have soup here?
Do you what? What did you say?
Y'all have soup? It's like a wet food.
Oh, I mean, soup's kind of like mud, and that's I enjoy that.
I do not like soup.
I also look at Nawi for like a second and then back to Jacaranda. Like, right, it's a little bit thinner than mud, I would say, and I think
you can have very wet mud.
That's true. That is true. I would also say, and I don't know much about muds, so please excuse my ignorance. It does not have a whole lot of dirt in it when we do. Unless someone doesn't wash the carrots that well.
I wouldn't say that all soups are muds, but I would say that all muds are soups.
I would have to agree with you there. Yes, based on what I know of soup and mud, that sounds right. A scholar.
Now he just looks at Mara. And for once, she's confused. Wait, mud not a wait.
No, by definition, it is a soup. If
it's a lot of
mud
things put together in a liquid.
Things in a liquid. That's right.
Consistency.
Plants can use mud. They get nutrients from soil.
Yeah.
That is wet.
That makes sense then.
Mud is dirt soup.
I feel like that's the only food I would eat. Then is soup. Technically
is
because
there's other nutrients in the soil.
What would sun be if it was a food?
Like a sauce? A condiment?
How do we eat the sun?
Cosplay. Siri, how do we eat the sun? Don't phone.
Uh-oh, Siri actually responding.
that's he's always listening.
Well, okay, so you like soups, children make food, and
they don't hug. You see Maria's eyes get big.
It's not, We all you said it was a sign of affection, which is nice. We have that too. It's called doing your job.
How do you get jobs?
Oh, well, the village elders commune for a little bit and they decide, I guess. Well, I mean, we don't, it's not really, for us to know per se, but we have faith that the village elders know what to do. So then they tell us and we do it.
Oh, okay. So okay. That I can relate to.
Oh, okay.
How old are you? How old is your elder?
Oh, old. They're up
Do
there.
you have a dragon too that's in charge?
You have a dragon in charge?
Well, yes. Mostly my mother is in charge now, but
She's like got the energy of a dragon, though.
Wow.
For sure.
I don't think
I don't
she's
have
technically a dragon. She just has these skills, like me.
Oh yeah.
And like powerful, very powerful, like a dragon.
Yes.
Well, my father's real powerful, I guess, but I don't think he's a dragon. I feel like that's something you shared with us. Who can
Sometimes people lie.
One
To be
would
honest.
think.
Mara just stands up. Yeah, you think people would fucking tell you that, don't you?
You would think so, but and at this point, Iris, you would see this giant red lynx come from down under with a big fluffy
Down under.
foxtail.
Oh, baby.
And I mean, he's huge. He's like horse sized.
Is this your friend? Can I pet it?
You can ask him. His
Hello?
name's Shikari.
Shikari, my name is Iris. I'm here visiting and looking for a book and hanging out with your pals and learning what clothes are. Different styles of clothes. I know what clothes are. It's like robes. Can I just your tail's real fluffy and I would love to get in there. Just quick pat in the most consensual way possible.
I would like to get in there. Shikari kind of takes after Mara a little bit in that they are quite open, but the more you speak, the more defensive they kind of become. They started fine, and kind of just throw a quick look up to Mara, back to you, back over to Mara, back to you, and then slowly slink their way forwards, kind of present themselves.
Iris will squat, not squat. I guess it's just stand up eye level because it's a big thing. Hi, Iris again. Pat. Thank you. I'm glad we've grown closer. Mar, is this a situation where I then give a hug?
I mean, Shikari is used to hugs.
Oh my gosh.
He's my friend, but
That
yeah,
makes
if
sense.
you want to hug him.
Consensual hug. She says consensual hug aloud. That's how you announce the consensus. It's what I've always heard.
It's true.
Just pure confusion on Shikari's face, but they'll go along with it.
Love it. So flexible.
We're on the boat just waiting to get to where we're going.
Yeah, we're being towed at this point.
Yeah, you are being towed from one area to Tarqueza. So this is kind of the journey along the way, or part of it.
So, Iris, why don't you trust us about this book thing?
Oh, it's not that I don't trust y'all. I mean, I would let you know if I could. It's just it's kind of hard to explain. The book doesn't have a name per se. It's just got a bunch of ancient knowledge, and when people talk about it, you're just supposed to know. And that's why I was chosen to go on the mission to find it, because my father was like, well, you seem like, you've got a good head on your shoulders, and we really can only trust you and maybe your sister, but she didn't get in. So, not her. Anyway, I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. Otherwise, I'm sure it'd be fine for you to know if y'all like. Well, what do you know about time?
It happens.
It's very relative depending on where you are.
All those
Truth.
things. I just wanted to find a little more information about. Well, we believe there's a lot of power in time, and being able to wield that power is important to us.
Who?
My village, our family is important to us.
You want to wield time like it's a weapon?
No, not a weapon. It's more like a tool, and tools are used by those who use them, as my grandfather used to say. He still says it, I guess. I mean, maybe he's never said that. I'm sorry. I don't know why I lied. But I do like an adage.
What do your village need to do with time? Is it to like make your crops grow very fast?
Well, yes, for some of it, and then other times. See, a lot of the questions that you have, they're really good questions and all. It's just when you're loyal to your family and you're doing your job, it sometimes gets busy for question asking.
Did they not tell you what's happening?
What? No, I know what's happening. For example, I was selected to find this book.
But so why do they want time? Though.
Well, everyone wants time, don't we?
But I mean, to have control over it. Is there like a specific thing that they want to do, or they're just wanting it to have it for a later date in case something? Like, is there a specific thing, or is it more of an abstract idea?
And for a second, Iris doesn't say anything. Like, basically, like, these are, why do we want this thing? And then sort of realizes that, like, yeah, she doesn't know the answer and quickly kind of shoves that. Oh, well, it's important to always support your family and make sure that you are learning and growing. Tell me more about your ship and the mud.
Well, this isn't
Mara
my
heard
ship. Oh,
the place that Iris is from.
Yes. So,
Sorry.
It's fine. Iris is from the Anathema Expanse, which is a small collection of islands, but they are big enough and resourceful enough to essentially function as a continent by themselves if they wanted to. They are towards the east, the southeast from where you are. They're at the southeastern side of Lathinkava.
Okay, so not at all west. That's my bad.
No.
Well, it depends on where you are. It could be west.
Because it's west of something.
West of something.
It's
exactly.
west. It's west of many things. Just not you right now, but that's okay.
Does Mara know any stories about the people from there?
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
I as well, just since it's near the continent.
18.
What was it? History?
History, yeah.
24.
Nice.
Okay. So, no one really knows how the Anathema Expanse came to exist there. There's a lot of different clues, a lot of different stories and a lot of different interpretations of what happened there. But no one really knows how that particular structure of islands ended up where it is, especially considering the islands themselves have multiple different biomes in very, very, very small spaces. The area itself is kind of three curved layers of stone and rock, and one of the big kind of myths surrounding the expanse is that some kind of earth-related deity of sorts, or some kind of large power centered around Earth and the planet, essentially reached up and with three claws pushed up the land itself and carved a scratch mark, as it were, into the ground, and that then came up and became the Anathema Expanse. It's not massively populated. There are a few individual groups and villages in the Anathema Expanse, but they, for the most part, tend to wish to live in isolation for one reason or another. So there's not a lot of trade routes, there's not a lot of people visiting, there's not a lot of trade in general. And it's generally just an area of Vacre that is mostly left alone. There are a few different places that have had visitors that have sat down and written documents and written observations, but they are temporary visitors. So no one really knows how society works properly over there.
That was beautiful.
A point of order for Izzy is last time Iris was we ended and now it casually mentioned the veil and that she died before, and Iris was like, what? That's just a point of order for something that Iris seemed to want to ask more about.
Great. Yeah, no, let's latch on to that. She will put that forward. Yeah, so I think coming out of the same sort of like stammer as last time, like, I think it's just important to work with your family and always do what's right. And you died?
Yes. Just the once.
Well, okay, but because you're here now, and so I was just what? Do you have? How are you a sorcerer?
No, I am very good. I have some magic. I mostly am very good with a bow and a dagger, or really any weapon.
How did you use your bow to make you not dead? Wait, are you still dead? Because that's fine.
I don't think so. Here, come. Now he tries to put your head on her chest.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
No, is right? It's still beating.
Yeah, interesting. All right, okay. So, what are death conditions for your dragon tap?
Oh, I am not a dragon. I am just a person. But
what are death conditions for your person?
Well, I was like 6, and I was out playing, and then it was cold, and then I was waking up.
Huh. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm told that Lady Umbra saved me. She did some ritual. She bound another spirit to mine.
Is that a goddess of yours?
No, maybe. I will be real, I don't know. She's very secretive.
The gods do be keeping secrets.
But I point Shaka and she was at my ceremony, the woman in the cloak that walked up to the stage and dropped something in the pot and then left.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's her name.
Yes. she is very secretive, but supposedly is a friend of our leader, so we kind of let her come around.
Well, surely she has some purpose in bringing you back. Are you going to be a powerful ruler one day? Are you a powerful ruler right now?
I'm sort of a princess.
Oh, and this is how princess boats are.
No, not usually.
Okay,
And
I
look
had
at Naoi,
wondered.
and she's like she doesn't wear shoes. She's like dirt under her nails. No, I don't really plan on. Well, I guess if they need me, but I think my mother's going to live forever, so I'm not really worried about it.
Oh, that's nice. So you're never going to go back to your people?
Oh, if they need me, but I am needed out here right now. I'm not really sure. It kind of depends on what Juan wants to do, I guess. Not that, I mean, we've only been dating a little while.
Yeah, Mara looks around, makes sure Dewan's not looking.
Yeah.
What if Dewan wants to become a princess?
Well, I mean, I can make her a princess, but you don't have to tell her I said that.
You can make her a princess by dating?
Well, no, if we got married, she would also be or whatever title she wanted.
How many people can you marry and make princesses?
In the veil, that as many as you want.
And then do you have to stay married to stay a princess, or can you not be married anymore and then still be a princess?
I don't know. Getting people that get married in the veil have not. I don't know anyone who's gotten unmarried. But I mean, my father and mother were engaged for like 30 years before they decided to get married, so I think you just think about it for a long time.
Your dad's job get in the way.
Yes.
Figures.
But and then Lupa had died, and then we brought her back, and she has a piece of my soul.
How do you know that?
Well, because I saved her.
Oh, that's nice. Good for you.
Yes.
Did you all also die and then have a piece of your soul come back in an animal friend? Is that just kind of standard?
Die, but as far as I know, Shikari doesn't have a piece of my soul yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure how the ceremony works. Something about he also has to die, but I don't want him to die, so I don't know.
Goodness.
That's what Nawi told Mara. That's how Lupa became. And so Mara thinks Shikari has to die, but Mara's like, I'm trying to find a way around that because Shikari's my friend. Shikari has been my guardian since I was way small.
Did you find them or did they find you?
Both. I was exploring in the forest around my home and got stuck.
And then
Shikari came and unstuck me and has been unsticking me ever since.
That is very nice. I wish I had met Lupa under other circumstances. It was quite unpleasant. I mean, I was only 11.
I was 5.
Oh, I am very sorry.
I was very precocious.
Me too.
I am very precocious.
I am glad that yours turned out better than mine.
Yeah, death is so young is kind of not a good thing, I think.
That does sound traumatic.
I'm fine, I'm sure.
Well, how can you be sure? I mean, what if you die again and they say, no, not this time? Or what if there's no they? That's why that is why you have to be careful.
You see, now he just stares off into middle distance and doesn't say anything.
Well, that's why we have talented cleric friends. We have the best cleric in the world traveling with us.
She's
That's
not
handy.
here right now. She's resting.
No, Jacaranda,
your
you're
hug
the best
friend.
cleric in the world.
Oh, I
Oh.
see.
You were the last one to bring her back, so now
Yeah.
you're the best cleric right now.
Is that how it works? The title changes.
That's how it works.
I am currently a cleric, but that may not always be the case.
Jacaranda, yeah, today I'm the best cleric in the world, but who knows what tomorrow brings? Watch yourself. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I'm ever changing.
Ever growing.
Truthfully. I don't mean to put you on the spot more, Iris, but I know you wanted to go to a library and look for the book that you're looking for.
Yes.
But if you don't know it, how will you know what the book is that you're looking for
Well,
when you find it?
I'm told it's a matter of faith and perspective. I guess I'll look through the books because I know, roughly the subject matter, or at least I know what I'm supposed to be looking for in terms of content, kind of.
So time, manipulating time, controlling time,
Wielding time.
wielding time. So anything time based.
Uh-huh.
I-
And when I find it and grab it, I will know.
I can ask my father, he might know something.
Does he know stuff about time books?
I don't know. I would be honest, I tune out a lot of when they start talking.
Yeah. Well, if he has information, I'd be glad to talk to him. But I'm enjoying.
I will send the message. 1 second. And now he goes out to like a port window. I wanna just grab a fish.
Let's just grab a fish from the water.
Yeah, you reach out, you just put your hand in, you like click underwater. There's a moment. And another moment. Boom. Super fast reflexes. You grab, pull.
I speak with animals. I'll say this really, and then animals. I will say this really quickly. I know this is going to be difficult for you. I need you to go to the Vale. You will know where it is now that I told you, and give a message to my father. You'll know them when you see them. That if you know anything about a ancient book without the name about time, to get back to me. I put them back in the water.
You throw them back in.
What everyone else sees is now we pull a fish and.
Naui, I also need you to catch fresh fish because we're almost to Tarqueza and we'll need it for the cat.
Oh, okay, I will find a different fish. That one has a message too. But I will. Yeah. I will go up top and properly get this some fish. I have the background feature. I can like get food for 10 people, so I'm just gonna go get some. I'm gonna go fishing for the rest of this boat trip.
Fishing you go.
I think now he's like takes off all her armor down to like her barely wild girl underwear and like just goes up with like a spear.
The lightning spear or a different spear?
like a normal fishing. She like
Like a
finds
regular.
she finds like the ship probably has like one of those like set up for like fishing. So she like goes and gets one of those and
Regular
it's
old
just
spear fishing.
Please, not the lightning spear. We don't need Captain Belladonna any more angry at us, as her ship is all metal.
so now he's just on the deck fishing like the wild lady she is. I'm sure they were like, we have like a net, and she's like, no, this is better.
I got it.
Alright, spear fishing. Spear fishing, jig in hand, You can most certainly go ahead and gather some fish and gather some food here. Is there anything else specific that people wanted to cover during the rest of this journey?
Oh, I want to scry on the plants in Captain Belladonna's office.
Roll me a d20.
Three.
Okay. If it was odd, she'd eventually go into the room. So this is what happens. You decide to give it a little while, let her cool off, as it were. You've still got about a day and a half ish of travel, which has been cut down due to the assistance of the Millennium, but it's still a bit of a trek left. You give it a few hours before deciding to go ahead and scry. And which plant are you focusing on here?
So I had placed some behind the desk so that I could kind of see like the drawer, that where the secret drawer is, to try to see how to get into it, like what the secret is to get into it, and just kind of be able to observe the desk from behind it.
Okay. So you complete your scry, and your image zooms away from what you currently see and into this room. You see from the perspective that you had, Belladonna, a little pushed back away from the desk at the moment, legs crossed, just kind of tapping away at her head. And there seems to be some kind of manuscript in one hand underneath her elbow, and the other she's just kind of tapping away on the side of her head. She looks visibly frustrated. As she does so, she just sighs once, reaches underneath, and she slides one of her very long nails into the gap of the drawer here. You hear something click, and then you watch as she, with her thumb, pushes into the desk, and it slides a little bit in and then drops, and that's how the drawer then comes loose. And there's a small little collection of things here. There is what appears to be this small, rather simple, weathered sextant that's at the very back, and has definitely seen better days. There are a few notes, kind of just basic crumpled up pieces of paper that have been refolded, and there's some attempt at preservation here. It looks like they were at one point crumpled, thrown, and then later on were picked up, straightened out, and pressed almost with something. There appears to be some kind of almost a clover patterned locket at the very back, and there appears to be a rather large diamond figurine.
So she likes figurines and dolls.
Yeah, this figurine is quite literally sculpted out of a gem. It looks like they've just chipped away and have basically woodwork with a gemstone, essentially. Seems to be this small figurine of a bench and 3 individuals sat on the bench. They all seem to be rather close and huddled, but there's not really a whole lot of detail in the faces or the body. Looks like an attempt was made. You see some grooves around the heads where work had started, and then it just stops. She reaches in and picks up the clover locket and pulls it up and just kind of holds it in her hand for a moment. She presses it to her chin, shakes her head, gives it a small kiss, places it back in, and unrolls the manuscript onto the table itself. And she seems to just kind of stare at it for a while. That's probably what you'd be able to gather during this scry channel.
Okay. Nice. I think that's it. That's all I really was planning on doing.
Okay. Wonderful. So, some time passes. You would have arrived the next day, but instead you're going to be getting close towards the night. As the evening begins in earnest and the three suns have fully set, and there is now a starry night around you. Two moons with their usual glow. There is quite a lot of hustle and bustle, I guess, is probably the way to put it, that begins to catch on the air. You begin to hear the sound of rowdiness and discussion, even this far away. Lots of shouting and screaming and merriment and all sorts as you begin to pull into the port town of Tarqueza. Whether it's a town or whether it's a city is perhaps a little difficult to judge. Looking at the place, it doesn't look like a lot of individuals actually live here. There's a huge sprawling dock area, even larger than Vassalon, which you had previously been to, some of you. This area could hold essentially a full fleet's worth of ships. There is a lot of infrastructure around ship maintenance and ship construction, but there only looks to be about maybe 35 housing buildings here. The area itself is seemingly built onto a beach of sorts. It is surrounded by these large cliff faces, which kind of create this protective semicircle around the back of the area. There's only one path that seems to lead into Salia proper. And at the top of from your angle, the left-hand side here, the cliff faces continue up, and at the very top is this large, beautiful, intricate marble and gold lighthouse, which stands as an obvious waypoint, an obvious marker, but two, using this large blue light to guide the way for sailors also. This would be the first sight of Tarqueza that you would see as you are slowly brought into port here.
Mara would ask Iris, do you prefer sleeping indoors or outdoors?
Oh, I can sleep anywhere.
Well, Nawi and Jacaranda will sleep outdoors. Dawan and I usually sleep indoors. We prefer it.
Okay.
So,
well,
what is your preference?
I can sleep in the doorway and keep everyone company, and also equal numbers. Which is sort of a...
We usually do not sleep near, right by the door, because we need to find a good spot for dirt for Jack.
Oh, all right. I'll sleep inside.
Oh, I would ask Captain Truehorn where the nicest place in Tarqueza is.
You approach
the place
him
he would have his grandmama stay at,
You approach as as he's kind of like working on a what's it called, a ledger. He's chatting with a few people, making sure the ledgers are correct. You step up, you say this, and he just goes, nicest place of talking.
Listen, I'm not looking for a palace, but a place that it's okay for your grandma to stay at is what I'm looking.
If you're bringing your grandma to Tarqueza, you hate her and you're looking for her to meet an early death. That's not. You don't. No. There's.
The less likely that the owner is going to slit my throat. How's that?
Still not great.
Okay.
There's.
You can sleep outside with us.
We're in my greenhouse.
I'm gonna ignore that. There is one tavern in Tarqueza. That's it. So
Yes.
you've got one choice. Well, you've got two choices. You go there or you sleep outside.
So she turns to Dewan. Dewan, I guess we're sleeping outside tonight. Good thing you brought your bed with you.
Just clutching the pillow.
I think during this whole interaction, Iris is staring at this person. And when they said, you hate your grandmother and you want to kill them, was it? Like just instinctively, like a hand goes to like a rapier, just I guess over her shoulder. She's watching one of these things and then leans over just a little bit to Jacaranda. It's like, is this a threat? Is he threatening my grandmother? So many threats today.
I don't think threatening. Where is your
my grandmother? First of all, could take care. I've totally forgotten that I had an accent. Totally take care of herself. She would be fine. As would any member of our village here in this place where we are now. Second, I do not hate her, and I do not appreciate being told that I do. Person.
Well, you didn't bring her here, so I think you're safe on that judgment. Just don't bring her here, because then that would mean that you hate her, according to
I disagree.
him.
I will bring my grandmother here, and she will love it. But later, though.
Maybe we should see if we like it first before you decide to bring your grandma.
Deal.
As we leave the boat, Jacaranda, do you know which direction you scried the cats in?
Oh, maybe I can try to locate creature. I think I have that. Possibly. That's a thing.
Do you have it prepared?
Nope. I locate object.
Was the lighthouse in what you scried? Like when you were scrying, did you like get to the lighthouse first and then head a certain direction from the lighthouse, or?
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. So I take out my Staff of the Woodlands and I think of the purple cat that I saw, and then I will use locate animals or plants, and that's what I'm doing. So I learn the direction and distance to closest creature or plant of that kind within 5 miles if they are present.
Okay. So give me a second just to double check the wording of this. Yep, just direction and distance. Alright, cool.
I'm going to focus on like the mom. Oops, I accidentally rolled something. Ignore that.
Okay. So the closest and the... Okay. You cast the spell. And... Actually, what does it look like when this is cast?
So I'm going to be holding the staff out in front of me and kind of like focusing. So I'll close my eyes, and then also like as something that happens when Jack is either like highly focused or completely a blank slate is like all the kind of like firefly type thing starts going around. And then just like holding it out in front of me, like very still and calmly, just focusing on that image.
You watch as your magic begins to manifest around the staff, and the magic itself almost begins to bloom. You see this small, kind of like ethereal flower begin to create at the end of the staff. As it does so, some of those magical specks that surround you begin to also appear in the center of the staff. And as your spell completes, there is a small bundle of these white ephemeral fireflies that suddenly jolt away from the staff and begin sailing up just above the houses here in Tarqueza. And very noticeably and very clearly begin to come down towards one of the biggest buildings that is here. It also seems to be the only 3-story building in Tarqueza. It begins to slowly make its way there, and as your spell completes, indeed, that is where you would need to go. It's in the center of town, so probably no more than a 5-10 minute walk. The fireflies come back up and scatter onto the wind.
So that's where we want to go.
Mara turns to one of the sailors. What's that building?
Oh, the big one. Well, that's going to be the only place you're going to be able to get a decent meal in here, that's for sure.
Is that also the only place to sleep?
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
So above the table, that's like the tavern again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there's not a lot here. There's the ships themselves. There is one very large building that seems to be a warehouse of sorts / some kind of trader. You're not entirely sure. It is probably the nicest looking building here, and is emblazoned with this greenish blue logo of a ship with a large set of sails that seem to continue up and off the logo, with far more masts than any ship actually would need. There is this large 3-story building, and then pretty much everything else is just random rundown houses.
Gotta visit that warehouse.
I mean, this seems easy. There is one thing though. Iris, you should probably have this, and now you will take a ring off your finger and like put it on your finger. You should attune to that. It is.
Didn't we have an extra one for Orin?
I believed Orin got it, unless you assumed Orin gave it back. Because Orin was here when we got it.
Yeah, Orin gave the stuff back to you. Or like...
So we would have an extra one?
So you do have an extra.
Mara would not offer it yet because she does not know Iris that well yet.
Now I would offer her Iris and just like...
Because we have some priority or Mara would say to you in messaging, we have some pretty private conversations on that, and I don't know if we can trust her about Harmony yet.
I mean, it just seems if we are going to travel with them, then it seems.
Can we at least get into a fight with her so that we make sure she has our back and not's going to stab us in the back first?
We could try, but if she gets kidnapped and then we feel bad, then don't have a way to find her, you will feel worse.
You are right. Fine.
After staring blankly at each other for like she gives you the ring.
Yes.
You should attune to that. It is a way so you can talk with most of the people here.
Oh.
And it will protect people from reading your thoughts or
Yes.
telling if you're lying. And you can make it invisible so that no one can tell you're wearing it.
This is beautiful. And thank you for your kind gesture. And then she'll like go in her pack and be like, here is a camp stove.
Oh, I have a camp stove. Thank you.
And she just stays holding out the camp stove. It doesn't turn invisible. And I don't think you can use it to talk, or at least not conventionally, but they say, food.
You feel like someone knocking in your head. And you see Naui waving.
Oh, so you can, and then like in her head, this is the set. Okay. So, but you don't want the.
And you feel her coming. Mara taught me you feel like to knock first. You use it for now. It's okay. I have other ways to do it. You can't talk to me like this. It's okay.
Okay, but do you want the camp stove?
No, I have a camp stove.
All right.
I'm going to leave your brain now.
Yeah. As this is good talking to you.
As this conversation's going on, Mara's asking Captain Truehorn when they plan on heading back. As he says he makes this run all the time, right? That was the consensus.
A couple days of shore leave to allow the folks to, well, rest a little bit. Then we'll be off probably, realistically, probably 3 days from now, give or take.
Okay. We may be back. And then she walks over to the Millennium.
It's as the Millennium has come into port and has begun offloading things and gathering supplies, and many of these incredibly heavily armored soldier types are now on the docks. That revelry and excitement and happiness has now turned into a drunken weariness, as there's a lot of people staggering over, walking up, like knocking on people's helmets and like making squeaky noises across their chest and things, and just generally causing a nuisance. So the individuals on the Millennium seem to have sped up whatever they're currently doing, to say the very least. They've very much have begun moving swiftly and carrying lighter loads so that they can go around a little faster, and you do see on the ship itself, having come out of where they are, is Captain Belladonna giving directions and orders to their first mate.
Say, Captain, I don't mean to interrupt your unloading. But if you decide to take us up on me hiring you, you can reach us either at Stonehaven and Ensaya, or that's probably the best. But or you could wait here for us for when we get back. A couple days maybe. We have to go gather a cat or two.
I'm not even going to ask. Alright, well, it sounds like I need to go and have a discussion with some individuals at Nansaya, so once we are restocked and reloaded, then perhaps, depending on the situation, and depending on what I can identify as truth and not truth, maybe there will be a situation that we can talk about.
If you're worried about us telling the truth, I know that it's something that I can do, but someone that you trust could also cast the Zone of Truth spell, and then you would know that whatever we say is truth. We'd be compelled. But I understand if you have more like not magical ways of doing it that you would prefer.
I have some reservations when it comes to magic being cast on me, so I would like to politely and respectfully decline.
Oh no, not cast on you. You don't have to be in the zone. I meant I wouldn't mind. But just an idea. Okay, thanks.
While this conversation is happening, I think Iris is standing slightly to the side, like staring at the captain, like she wants to see through her. And over again in her head is like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Does this work here? Having misinterpreted, you can talk to everyone here. So like almost I would say uncomfortably close, and to the point like just creeping a little closer with each passing second, hoping maybe it's like a distance thing. And if I get right in her face, they'll be able to know what I'm saying. Because unfortunately the social aspect is still difficult for her.
And Mara would say, you can also contact my brother-in-law, Baron Evan Atwater, if you have any other concerns.
I most certainly will. Even could you take 5 steps back, please?
Did you hear me?
Mara backs up.
Did you not hear me? All right, I'll try again. And we'll take 3 steps back and then go back to just. I think theirs is broken.
Now he's left both ships and is gonna start making her map of this area.
With the greatest of respect, please leave.
Okay.
Are we on a dock right now? We're just
No, Mara walked onto the Millennium because they were unloading
oh.
stuff. So she walked onto the Millennium.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mara just waltzed onto the ship.
Okay. I thought we were just like in front, like they're on the dock. Like
Can't tell us to leave this dock.
I was like, public property. But no, that.
And as Mara is leaving, she's like, "They're coming, whether you like it or not," and just continues walking.
I hope you like your office, is what Jacaranda says as she leaves.
Okay, I'll keep trying. Have a good night.
It's this morning. What an unhinged thing to say.
She watches as you walk away, and you hear under her breath, just towards her first mate, just, "Oh, if we weren't on contract."
I'm
What have I
so excited. We're gonna be best friends, and we'll never leave each other's side.
Yes, you step away. She goes back to what she was doing, and Nami, you can go ahead and. It's a very swift, creation of this map. There's actually not a whole lot of landmass here. It's a very defensible position in a way. These large kind of like sections of stone around the place creates this small little basket of sorts.
What's the general? Maybe that's what you're about to say.
I was actually going to say, you obviously don't need it for your map skills, but just wandering around, I was going to ask for a general perception check.
I was gonna ask about the vibe.
Yeah, you can get a general
'Cause-
vibe. That's nice and easy, but I want to see if there's any other like specific details that you.
Because the
spot,
captain's
so.
like, this was the worst of the worst of the. You're in like Jabba the Hutt's crime den.
It's a pirate town.
Trying to get the reaction and vibe towards me. I feel like I stand out. That was partially why she came alone. 23.
Awesome. Yeah, so the general vibe is it is very much a pirate town, but it seems to be held together by some kind of strict respect or law. You're not entirely 100% sure, but there's the usual kind of like, tomfoolery of everyone is very clearly or many people are currently partaking in all sorts of revelry, so the entire area is rather rambunctious right now, but there's not a lot of all-out chaos or violence. If there's a fight that breaks out, the fight happens, then they both get up, they shake each other's hands, they buy each other a drink, and that's it. If there's an argument, they'll get to the end of it, they'll both laugh, drink down some shots, and then, hug it out, or whatever. Like, there's this general sense of respect and camaraderie, which is perhaps a little odd, depending on your viewpoint on such things. With a 23, you notice very, very, very occasionally some of these buildings are marked with a singular, small, but obviously placed mark. It looks like a small circle of sorts, I guess would be the best way to put it. A small circle of gold, but it's not fully one line. It seems to be multiple sections kind of making up this circle with lots of small splays and sections sticking out at the end of each small curve. Some of these houses are marked this way, some of them are not. But yeah, there's a
Is
general...
it on like a pattern?
No, just kind of like, 2 houses in a row might be, and then you might not see one for another 3, or like they just seem to be kind of spattered around here and there. There's no discernible pattern to the way that they're placed.
Can I just like stop someone on the street?
Sure thing, yeah. You go ahead and grab somebody. There's this just human woman who's very clearly gotten back from a rather rough job. She looks exhausted, but she's kind of hanging out with a few friends. She sees you walking around and kind of staggers over to you with a mug of ale in her hand. Just
Hey, what is with these circle things?
oh, they're just marks, who's paid their piper or not.
The paper, like someone who plays pipes.
I just like the way that the piece sounded. They just, they paid their toll. They paid their rent, and then that's you know how it works.
So someone pays somebody money and they get a mark. So what happens if you don't have a mark?
Well, then you haven't paid, and if you haven't paid, then you're a fair target.
For what?
Beats me. Stuff, I'd assume.
Do I need a circle?
I mean, people don't carry them on their person, it's just on the buildings, so I don't think... Do I need it? Like, turns to her friend, just, do I need it? Should I go... I'm gonna go get a circle, I'll be right back. And kind of staggers her way down the street.
Is Mara within... I forget how far I can do it at this point. 100 feet of me?
What's Mara doing as you've come off the boat? Well, all of you have come off the boat at this point and found that Nawi has already kind of made their way into town.
Heading towards the tavern, thinking that's where Nagi is headed.
Okay, so yeah, we'll say you're within 100 feet.
I'll, mind out until I feel Mara's mind touch, and you'll feel Naui, knock.
Yes, Nawi.
Hey, you must be close, so I'll start coming towards you. There are circles on the buildings, and it means somebody paid a piper. But if you don't have a circle, then you are a fair target. I don't know if we need a circle, but this seemed like something I should tell you.
Mara starts looking around. Does she see the circles and the not circles?
Yeah, looking across a few buildings, you can see some of them are marked with the same marking here, and some of them are not. It's not made to be massively hidden. They're very kind of clearly on the front of each building. But
Does the tavern have one?
The tavern does, yes. As you kind of approach towards the tavern, the bottom floor itself is another one of those kind of all open sections. The floor above seems to be also quite open, and the third seems to be completely kind of walled off. It is rammed right now with many individuals drinking, playing games, making merry, all sorts of stuff, and appears to be only one barkeep. You see an individual who's still quite handsome, but definitely looked a lot more handsome before stress and age hit him. He's definitely not grown. He's not aged quite as gracefully as perhaps he may have. A orc dwarf individual, just in super basic white shirt. Sleeves have been torn off. And I do say torn. There's rip markings all across here and here. The shirt itself is a little tattered, it's a little dirty. They have this kind of shoulder-length brown hair that is kind of just turned into a knotty, matted mess. It's kind of been pushed back with a hairband. And they seem to be just kind of whittling the time away with something in front of them, some kind of small wooden puzzle of sorts. The other obvious thing in this tavern is off to the side there is a singular door it is away from the stairs, and this door is being guarded by this large buff dragonborn woman with a battle axe kind of already standing, coming up just past her waist, and is just kind of holding it there with her hands. She is in all black studded leather armor.
Before we left the docks, she would have turned to Shikari and said, "Watch," so that he knows to patrol, keep an eye on me, but don't come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she would say we'll investigate that. Maybe tomorrow when it's daytime and we can go talk to people. I don't want to just show up on someone's doorstep in the middle of the night.
No, that is fair. You're inside this big building?
Yes.
And you'll see now we come inside. She's making her way towards where we were.
Now you see exactly the same.
I think Iris is actually hanging back outside. I don't know that she's ever seen this many people in one place before. And I don't know that she would recognize the sensation that is coming over her, but I can tell you it's just social anxiety of just like standing at like the mouth of a crowd. Whoa. I don't know that she would have noticed if her new companions had gone ahead, just sort of standing outside, staring at the door, saying nothing.
I mean, if I'm going in, I would notice you inside. So as I'm about to go inside, I look to the side. Oh, Iris, are you on what way are you at here?
Is this building hosting some sort of festival?
I don't know. I just got here. Did you ask?
Oh no, I couldn't. I mean, and she's talking like a little bit too loudly for how close she's standing to you. No, there was, everyone seems very, very busy. It's very loud here. So I wasn't sure who to go about asking. It seems like there's quite a to-do going on. And I don't know how.
A hard time when things are loud?
For example, waterfalls can be very loud. Yes. And singing can be very loud. However, this that just seems like a tremendous amount of volume for a group of people. And I do wonder if it's safe for everyone to be that volume all the time, packed in there like that.
I don't know much about volume and the amount of people and it being dangerous, but if you do not like when it's loud, that is, I can get someone else. I don't think, we don't all have to be inside unless something goes wrong.
Yeah, you know what? Perfect. I'm very good at guard duty. I will stand out here where it's quieter and less people.
Do you want company?
Oh, do you also not like? It's just a lot of people there,
Oh no, I should go inside in case there is a fight.
If there's a fight, well, let me know. If there's a fight, that's completely different. That's a whole other. But
okay,
for now,
one sec.
outside.
And you feel now we go inside your brain. That is just in case I need it later. But I can see if Jacaranda will stand outside with you when I get inside.
Oh, great. Yeah. Be careful with
he just goes in, and I feel like now he walks away. I walk, which is everyone else get out of my way. So she just kind of walks through this crowd. Probably taller than most of the people. Until
is Lupa with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Lupa's also outside with you, a giant dire wolf.
I feel like Jacaranda walks the opposite of you. She's huge, but she's always just waiting for other people to move. So she's kind of she'll even hover over people until they kind of realize she's
just leaned over
and okay, here we go.
And Jacaranda, you are getting some looks from these individuals. Just your general presence as a rare sight at the best of times, but a lot of these individuals, inebriated especially, are not making any kind of social mask to hide as they just look at you, and there's some chatter and some talking, and it's just some general
is that a tree? Is that a how much of is that a tree? How much of it is that a tree? I need to go
home.
A mixture of awe and confusion. You just hear one of them James, I think my garden's walking. I think maybe this.
You're am I drunk? Did I have too many mushrooms?
They get their first
too, right?
drink. You get this is my first drink, right? I didn't.
There's one of them that's just I'm not even. I'm drinking juice.
I've literally had that conversation before. Do you Do you see that as well? Yes, I see that as well. Okay, it's really there.
Yeah, now we get inside, and Isney seemed to just like suggest to Jack that Iris is waiting outside with Fupa.
Okay.
She is fine alone, but is also fine in company. I said I would tell you to see if you wanted to. Because Mara is good at talking, and
Well, I imagine Dewan's out there because
yeah.
Dewan would likely have been with Nawi.
Yeah.
She's not letting Nawi explore by herself.
Dawn is T-posing outside.
So where is the thing we are looking for?
I'll have to go ask the barman.
Oh, okay.
I can keep an eye on for cats.
Okay.
I will use my other eye.
It was up too, right? The fireflies like were in a high, they went to a higher direction. So would I assume that means they're like up there in the building?
You would assume they were on the 3rd floor, yes.
You see stairs?
I could freak people out and just climb the walls.
Right. I see Jacaranda going outside and climbing the walls. Wouldn't be the first time.
There's a set of there's the bar, there's the open space, there's a set of stairs, and then like a little bit further down from the stairs is this guarded door.
I'm not gonna look out for cats while Mara's talking. I'm gonna try and find like a mouse because it's a tavern. But Mara's gonna go do her thing right now.
Oh, Mara's gonna walk up to the bar, gonna slip one gold coin across the bar and say, "I'm looking for some information."
Barman simply eye up at you. Places the gold back on the counter towards them. Just, what are you willing to know?
Is there someone in Tarqueza who is a procurer of rare animals?
Many pass through. Looking for someone who is still here? Or
I believe they are still here. And they may be in possession of a rare cat.
A rare cat. A rare cat. Alright. Slowly kind of brings the gold a little closer to him. Picks it up again.
He slips another gold over there.
Pockets it. As you drop another one. I might know somebody with a interest in animal. Most certainly. They, got a batch of them a while ago, but seem to have kept one after getting rid of the rest of them. You see, this animal is protected. It is not an animal that's meant to be kept forcefully as a pet, but they do tend to sell for quite a lot if you know where to trade them. I might know this individual quite well, actually. Why?
I'm looking to maybe procure one of these cats for myself. I'll make a deception roll if you want. Well, but it's the truth. She's looking to get a cat for herself.
His eyes kind of shift. And he slides a hand underneath and pulls out this small white shot glass and begins to pour this this kind of like greenish liqueur into it. Just, I'm afraid I don't really know what to do about that, and slides it over to you. I wouldn't know quite that much, but if I hear anything, I'll let you know. Oh, and for the incentive, it's a drink best enjoyed on the 3rd floor.
Thank you kindly. And she takes the beverage and she says, "We're going up to the 3rd floor, guys. Meet me there, however you will."
Yeah, I'll just normally walk up the stairs.
Yvonne goes outside and oh, she's already outside. She climbs up the side of the building. Your style.
You, Jacaranda, as you're the one to kind of take the initiative and head up first. It's another floor. This one's a little quieter, and by a little, I really do mean a little. Only because there seems to be a lot of people concentrating here. This is like the game floor. There's whereas downstairs people are playing games for, a laugh and some revelry. On this floor, you can see a lot of bronze, silver, and gold pieces scattered across many, many tables. There's people playing dice games, people playing card games, people playing some kind of... There's some kind
fantasy
of
role playing.
Yes, there's just there's just a group of people at the table drunkenly playing Dungeons and Dragons. There's people playing this sort of like what seems to be some kind of like deception-based card game. They don't actually seem to be playing a lot. They just seem to be staring at each other the whole time. It's a very kind of awkward thing to watch. And as you come up, you actually see one of the far back tables, this gnomish individual kind of get up from their chair and slam their fist on the table a couple of times and just go, damn it, damn it, damn it. All right, fine, we're doing it again. And sits back in their seat, leans forwards, and you can almost hear like the cracking of the table as they dig their nails in. And at this table, there's a few of these individuals, whereas everyone else seems to be dressed like, sailors on a time off. This looks a little bit more like an adventuring band. There's four individuals who are here, all in a mixture of leathers and some basic weaponry still on them. And at the very, very back is this rather suavely dressed gentleman who seems to be just kind of smirking away to himself as this gnome's getting annoyed. He chuckles a couple times before clicking his fingers, and you watch as this small deck of cards raises up into the air and just begins shuffling itself. And there is a set of stairs on the far side that leads to the 3rd floor.
I will continue up the stairs.
Okay. What's everyone
Now,
else
when
doing?
we questioned the cat, do we see kind of what the person who was mean to them looked like?
Oh yeah.
No, did we? Oh yeah, I did, because I went. Yeah.
An elderly gentleman is what you would have seen.
So Mara's looking out for that person.
Mm-hmm. All right. Are you staying on the 2nd floor? Are you continuing up with Jacaranda? What are you doing here?
No, she will continue on.
Okay. No.
As I'll be the weird one, I would go outside and climb up the side of the building.
You will what? Sorry? I didn't quite hear that.
I'm gonna be the weird one that climbs up the side of the building. I also have climb speed.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to secret agent lady. So you see, now we come out of the building, Iris, say nothing to you, and go around the back.
Oh, are you okay? I'll keep watching.
I like back. I will be right back. Lupa loves pets. eyes again.
Petting her dog. Wolf, wolf.
I
Scale
will.
the building.
Yeah, I will be secret agent lady for us.
Mm-hmm.
I just imagine
Weirdly-
Shikari is just watching this because Shikari's just, out in the darkness going, what?
I need
Yeah.
to talk tomorrow. What's happening?
No one seems bothered, almost as if this is actually a common occurrence as you climb your way up. You past the second floor up to the third. There's a large-ish window that you can go ahead and kind of align yourself with. Seems to be just one large room. There's no dividers or anything like that. It seems to be quite a large bedroom. As decadent as you would kind of imagine for a place like this. It's by no means like the Millennium or anything, but it's relatively nice. There's some older antiques in here that have very clearly been collected over a long and storied lifetime. You see a set of dual swords that seem to be kind of mounted against the wall that have been separated and crossed. There is kind of a few just general like hunting trophies, it seems, but in comparison to what you've dealt with, Nami, these are very mundane. There's like a claw
Children.
there's like a claw of a wolf. There's like probably the most exotic thing here is probably the horn of a basilisk that's kind of mounted against the wall in a little section, but everything else is just like bears, deers, that kind of thing. The area is kind of nicely decorated, and when you see right towards the back of the room, this older, grey, haggard individual currently sweeping up a little bit of mess on the ground. They're mostly balding apart from small patches of white hair around the outside. There's this kind of scraggly white beard that's super patchy and no effort has been made to kind of cover it up. It's just very kind of all over the place. They're kind of hunched over a little bit, and as they're sweeping up, they seem to be humming some kind of horrendously discordant tune that's kind of carries a little, but not much, thankfully.
Is the window open? Is the window? Could I try to open it? Can I see if it's locked?
Yeah. There's two panels already, and one of them would already be slightly ajar. And checking it, like, there's no bar or anything. You could just open it up and slide in if you wanted to.
I would like to stealth my way into the room and then wait to see what happens, as I know my two companions are going up the stairs.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check, as on the other side of the room, where these stairs are, both Mara and Jacaranda come up to the third floor, and the older individual kind of looks towards you. Just, terribly sorry. I wasn't quite finished. Can I help you? Oh, you must be. No, never mind. It's just. It kind of begins tripping over his words, and then switches into Elvish and just kind of begins cursing at himself. The only way I can really describe it is it's not Elvish, it's Sailor's Elvish. It's kind of like just a completely bastardized version of the language that he's kind of just picked up as he's traveled. He just begins cursing to himself and kind of looks back towards you both.
Sorry, didn't mean to startle you.
That's fine. Did you need anything at all?
So, does this guy look like the guy?
Yes. There is a instant recognition.
I will
We
let
are-
Jacaranda speak.
We are here to see a man about a cat.
a man about a cat. You came up here to talk about a cat.
Mm-hmm. A special cat.
Oh, well, many cats are special, I suppose. People like them a lot.
Do you like cats? Do you treat cats well?
I tend to be allergic, but they're animals. They're good at their jobs.
Do you hurt cats?
What's that supposed to mean?
It's a question. It's a simple question.
No.
Have you hurt cat?
I go around abusing animals.
I've heard differently. We've heard differently.
Tilts a little bit, kind of been supporting on the broom a little more. And what exactly have you heard?
I will describe the scene that the cat told us about.
Slowly kind of places the broom against the wall. Kind of he goes to slick his hair back instinctively, but he actually misses the two patches, so it's just kind of against the wall.
No.
Well, that sounds like an interesting story that you've made, but begins kind of just readjusting this kind of tattered dress/robe thing he's got going on.
Can I hear from where I am?
Yes. Yeah. This room's not that big. This is
Can
very clear.
Can I vibe check this guy?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
I'm specifically vibe checking to see if he's shifting to like time to like take out time to like call in someone, because he's like, oh, you. Am I insightful? I'm only sort of 15. My stealth check earlier, by the way, was a natural 20.
Amazing. Fantastic. Yeah, so you are unseen. But with a 15, it's not really that hard. A 15 is more than sufficient here. Yeah, this is a caged creature that is about to fight or flight. This is, this individual is very, very bad at
Can I, from my hidden position, sneak up? Like, I want to be right up on him.
Sure. Let me go ahead and see whether he notices the movement, because he definitely doesn't know you're there with that natural 20. But I want to see whether he gets a little jittery or not. No, he has no idea you're there.
So I think now he starts walking.
That's because Mara's standing there looking intimidating.
Yeah.
He's like,
I start walking behind him and I look at Jack on the arm like, and I take out my acid fang dagger, and I want to get right behind him and just like tap it on like his hip and put my hand on his shoulder. Now, we just want to talk.
That's why you have a... Okay, fine. Let's talk, I guess.
You are going to tell my friend about the cats that you have been harming, and you are going to talk to us until we are satisfied.
and where's the cat that you're currently holding?
Look, I've been doing this smuggling thing for a while, and I've smuggled a lot of things. I've smuggled objects, I've smuggled people, I've smuggled creatures as well. I've smuggled aggressive creatures, and, well, when someone lines you up with the buyer, you do your job. That's the entire point. And, well, mostly these creatures are, you know, hunted creatures, for example. Things like, deers or
Oh, you
whatever.
mean like you are now?
And one day, this job is offered to me that's a hell of a lot of gold. And, well, I didn't really have much choice. I was behind on my payments, and I had to make sure that I still had somewhere to live and to work. And so I took the job, and I realized that it was these things, and I tried to keep them fed and well, and then the job got delayed, and then it got delayed again, and I'm horrendously allergic, and so I got rid of them. But one, because I still needed to live a. Very slowly and deliberately kind of puts a hand up and slowly kind of reaches into a section of his robe and pulls out this small kind of like metallic orb. Almost kind of looks like a little... It looks like a Byakugan, if you know what that is.
Jesus
like those
Christ.
Toys. It's just this kind of... It's this little mesh of metal just kind of in this weird looking construct, and he kind of picks this up and just... This is what the buyer gave me to store it in.
I think so. I'm glad that you felt the need to tell us as much as you did. I do think you made it worse for yourself a bit with the smuggling of was this okay, so you mentioned smuggling people. Was this a I am very confused on what you do. I will be honest.
He is a bad person that steals things and brings them here to sell to other people who steal things.
I think
I sell... I sell objects. When I'm talking about people, I mean people who are going away from the law. People who have broken a law elsewhere and need to disappear. That's what I'm talking.
Okay.
No, none of that. No, none of that.
Okay. But the animals, I mean, that's against their will. Right?
Now he grips his shoulder tighter.
Most of these animals are hunting animals. They would have been hunted anyway.
Maybe so. But you are no longer going to be hunting these animals. And Mara goes over and takes the orb. How do we release it?
This just a switch on the top, small little button you need to press. That's it. That's it. That's all it is.
Who hired you to do this?
Because I needed to survive.
Who?
I can't tell you, but I can. I can holds a hand again and reaches into a different pocket, but I can give you the meeting notes for the middleman that I was meant to meet tomorrow to get rid of this last thing.
Mara takes the notes.
So now that you know that there are protectors of animals of all kinds, would you say that this isn't as lucrative of an avenue of job, and perhaps not something that you will be continuing?
I would say this has been a swift and definitive learning experience for everyone in the room, but me by far the most of all. Please don't kill me.
Now
So you
gonna-
sold all of them to the middleman. You gave them all to the middleman. All of these 5.
Oh no, I just this one. The others I couldn't cope with sneezing all the time, so I let them go. They I don't know where they are now, but they are. I let them go. I kicked them out. I couldn't deal with that much sneezing and crying and meowing and the poop. There was so much poop.
Now he's gonna move to in front of him and put her dagger away and reach into her sleeve. You should probably go. And puts a seed in his hand and closes it. When you are ready to make your life better, that seed will show you where to go. But you need to leave here now.
Right. Kind of takes a look at the seed and looks at it a little confused, closes their hand, kind of places it in their pocket. Of course. Well, I'm hired to do a different job, so I'll just continue doing that. Yes. Slowly kind of reaches back out for the broom and pulls it towards him.
And Mara says to Nawi and Jack in their heads, we should probably get out of town. And that way we can release the cat to safety.
Yes, sounds good. Let's make our way back to everybody.
And I'll just, one last thing, will tell the man, remember this and make sure that others who are also harming animals know that it's only a matter of time before it catches up with them.
Imagine Jacaranda putting on a scary face.
Mm-hmm.
Scary tree.
Oh, I think you're muted, or I just can't hear you.
No, I was.
There we go.
Yeah, of course, I'll just go ahead and just and what's everyone's passive perception, real quick?
19. Oh,
Yes.
yes, 19.
Mine is, Jesus, mine is a normal number, 16.
Okay, so yeah, pretty much all of you will notice this as he's. Yes, no, of course. I'll just let me grab my pencil real quick.
And it's not only us. There are many, many defenders of animals.
As he reaches into his pocket, you hear a small but definitive crunch of something. Just a teeny tiny, almost like glass breaking. And he just, yes, no worries, I'll just, many protectors, got it, many, I'll just, and whipping out this small kind of like glass orb that's now shattered, he fully smashes it against the ground, and this puff of thick grey-white smoke just suddenly fills the entire room around. You hear a few footsteps of pretty incredible swiftness as they dive out of the third floor window. You hear a crash of Iris, down below, you hear a crash of glass and this sudden soft hum as you see this small flash of yellowish light from around the corner where Nawi had been climbing.
Iris petting my giant wolf. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then it's just like outside, just on the porch area, talking to.
Dewan?
Yes. Also,
the
wolf.
one is the person. Lufa
Yeah.
is the
Lufa.
is
Yeah,
the wolf.
right.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you're talking to Dewan that was out there, or okay, Lufa.
All of the above. And then this person just comes crashing out a window. Oh, look, the festival must have taken a turn.
As this window crashes, you see this haggardy individual with a small kind of plain wooden wand in their hand, floating on this small disc of light. And
And Shikari comes and takes them out.
waves towards you as he just, evening, just kind of begins coughing a little and begins floating away.
Evening.
And as they begin to break away, that's where we'll go ahead and end the session. with this event happening. All right, wonderful. Good fun. Let's quickly go around the horn here, give people a chance to plug what they want to plug, say who are you, where can we find you, and yeah, anything that you want to kind of go ahead and share with folks. Let's start with Izzy.
Did you say Izzy?
Did say Izzy.
Great. Hello, I'm Izzy. I've been Izzy playing Iris. Follow me on Twitter, Z_mist with a Y because fantasy. You can find me here on Mondays and Wednesdays, anywhere you have podcast listenings, with Pod Against the Machine. And I think that's like pretty much it now, which is loving it, thriving until, like all the June Pride stuff comes and then we'll see. Yeah, Twitter mainly, basically Twitter. I talk about things I do there. Thanks.
Fantastic. Okay, Austin.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Austin. My pronouns are he, they, she. I just got done playing Nawi. Whose pronouns are she, they. You can find me on Twitter at SailorScout. That's at SailorSCT Austin. You can find my podcast, Secret Histories and Nerd Mysteries, wherever you get podcasts. Over on Twitter at Nerd Mysteries and Secret Histories and Nerd Mysteries every other Wednesday. We have an episode coming out this week. We watched Sonic 2. We'll hear our thoughts about Sonic 2. Every other Saturday, you can find me on Transplaner. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Every Monday, I'm here. And that's it for me.
Amazing. Ellis.
I am Ellis, also known as So Much Geek, SCW Much Geek, on Twitter and Instagram, and also Twitch if I ever stream again. We'll see. I am just vibing, making art, hanging out. So yeah, check out the things I make when I share them. I don't share them very often anymore because I like to keep them private and not worry about numbers. So who knows? Maybe you'll see things, maybe you won't.
Rochelle.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Dragon Gem here on Twitch, the Dragon Gem on Twitter. I stream on my own channel, and for the next week, I will be streaming because it's my birthday on Saturday. Yay! So there'll be birthday stream shenanigans. I'll also be raising money for 2 local animal shelters in my area. They're no-kill animal shelters. So you should come by and enjoy the shenanigans. You can check my Twitter for the times. But yeah.
Brilliant. We are also usually joined by the wonderful Jesse or Jehus the Moose, but they had to go ahead and take a session to rest and recoup, so get well soon, friend. But you can find them at Jehus the Moose on Twitter. They do art things, they forget to post the art things, and then they say that they're going to post the art things, and then they never do. But one day, we'll have consistent art things. Yeah. As always, follow all these wonderful people, support all they do. Hi, I'm Ray. I am the humble GM for the Mind of the Martyr here. You can find me at RedMageRay on Twitter. You can also find me here doing this, obviously. And that's kind of all I can actually. And there's things in the works that are very close to completion that I've been talking about for months, but they're very close to completion, that I will be able to share soon. So, yeah, go ahead and check out the Friends Who Roll Dice Twitter as well, at Friends Who Roll Dice. We have got some incredible games coming up that we're planning for, and some Pride stuff, which is going to be pretty cool. So, yeah, go ahead and check that out. Follow us on Twitter for updates there. And that is all I think I need to go ahead and plug. So, thank you so much to everyone who has watched. Thank you to everyone who has been in the chat. Please go and hydrate, medicate, do what you gotta do. And yeah, we will pass on the love that you've shown us elsewhere. So thank you so much. And take care. Keep moving forward. We'll see you next week. Bye! I forgot I'm the producer. Oh no.
Just keep waving.